Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ray from Philly here. Welcome to the once again another year of Hobby Palooza. I'm looking forward to joining everyone tonight and talking about one of my favorite subjects: baseball card Hall of Fame, the football card Hall of Fame. But first, I'm going to introduce my partners for the Sports Card Hall of Fame Network. Joining me for the Baseball Card Hall of Fame, it's myself, Mike, this Baseball Card Life, who couldn't be here with us tonight, and Victor, who's with us tonight. Victor of the Rookie Card Specialist. How you doing, Vic?
I'm doing good. Let's get we got to get Mike's on vacation, but
Yeah.
there's no excuse. We got to dial him up. Let's get him on. I'm kidding.
Yep. And this past year, we added another sport. This evolution of the Baseball Card Hall of Fame has evolved now to add another sport. So we added two committee members: Scott of Scotty Tradition, who's not here tonight, but Bart of Bart's Cards. How you doing, Bart?
What's up, guys? Happy to be here. Excited for Hobby Palooza.
Yeah, we're psyched. We're psyched. We're going to go over the future of the Sports Card Hall of Fame network and the upcoming ballot for the Baseball Card Hall of Fame and the Football Card Hall of Fame. So let's get right to it.
Bart is actually a football card Jedi. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
knew that or not, but if you didn't know, now you do.
Working on my baseball skills. So
There you go. There you go.
yeah, Bart and Scott. I mean, they knocked it out of the ballpark this past year for the first annual Football Card Hall of Fame. It was a huge success. We're going to go over all those cards that got in real quickly, but we're going to start with the Baseball Card Hall of Fame. So for this year, this is going to be the sixth annual Baseball Card Hall of Fame. I did it by myself in 18, 19, and 20 by myself, and it was a nightmare. So I brought in Mike, this Baseball Card Life, and Victor, the Rookie Card Specialist, to help me out in 2021. Last year was the second year to help me out, and now this is the third year, and it's evolving bigger and bigger every year. More cards off the ballot. So there's been a total of 51 cards on that have already been inducted into the Baseball Card Hall of Fame. Now, you might be asking, is there an actual museum? No, this is a virtual, for fun museum. So
someday,
you never know. You know, we might get a sponsor that'll open up a building and we have an actual museum. But, you know, why did we do this? Why did we have this Baseball Card Hall of Fame? And basically, you know, we'll go around the horn and discuss why. But I felt like it was to honor, you know, cards in the Hall of that should be in the Hall of Fame. Myself and Mike Baseball Collector talked about this, you know, 5-6 years ago. I mentioned to him, you know, I wonder why the actual Baseball Hall of Fame doesn't have cards in there. Well, now they do. It's a section called Shoebox something Heroes or Shoebox Legends or something like that. But back then, there wasn't actually a wing in there. So I wanted to create something fun that each year people can actually vote and acknowledge historical, iconic cards that some people don't even really know about. They can learn about cards, especially the younger generation, and forever immortalize these cards that are just greats. Um, I don't know. That's my short and simple philosophy. You guys can chime in on why do you think we do this and what's the purpose behind it all. Um, I just like to really just share the knowledge with everyone and show these cards. There's a lot of cards that surprise me, especially pre-war, that people don't know about, and it got people learning about certain cards and forever immortalizing these cards for forever and acknowledging them. Because everyone knows about the mantles and stuff, but there's a lot of other baseball cards out there.
Yeah. No, Ray. And for me, to be honest with you, I know you had mentioned that you did it for the first few years by yourself, but I actually jumped on board, man, because I absolutely loved this concept, this idea. When you did it, I thought, man, this thing has so much room for growth. This thing it was powerful. I would look forward to it every single year,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, it was really giving a voice to the hobby, right? Because throughout the years, we've always seen top 10 lists, top 100 lists, but
Right.
it's always been created by hobby publications and that sort of thing. But I felt like this was an opportunity now for the hobby to have a voice. It was done virtually. but it was the voice of the people who really voted in these cards, and that just made it extra special to me. And I really loved I love the mission statement of the actual Baseball Hall of Fame, and I've kind of turned it into my mission statement for it is preserving hobby history, and I feel like that's what we're doing here, and we're honoring hobby excellence as well.
Mhm.
And for what reason? Well, hopefully for generations to come, so that a collector 10 years down the road or 20 years down the road, or even my own grandkids can see, hey, Papa liked sports cards, and these were the most famous according to his community, and that's what it really just it's so empowering for us to have a vote and to see this thing grow.
I couldn't have said it any better. That's exactly spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. We know that the sports have stories. We know that the players have stories, but the cardboard has stories too. And even better, sometimes all three of those things align, and certain cards get immortalized. I thought it was a fantastic idea as well, Ray, and I liked the opportunity to kind of shape the hobby a little bit and show what we're collecting and what we like, and let the hobby speak, like Vic was talking about. Everybody knows I'm a big PSA registry guy, and they got a couple of sets called the top 200, the top 250, and things like that. And I've been on that registry forever, and those sets were in existence long before I showed up. And so I was always kind of, well, I liked the sets. I was always a little salty, like, hey, well, where do we get our input? I don't know who got to choose those, but a bunch of us kind of have some voices, and so kind of an opportunity for us to create more opportunity for the hobby now, to let their voice be heard in this cardboard votes and get into the Hall of Fame. So I think it's an awesome idea.
Right. And that's the key is people having a voice in here. And there's been some ballots over the past 4 years. There has been some heated people discussing and comments and saying, why did this card not make her? And why wasn't this added? People take this serious. I mean, it's like actually voting for the player. A lot of these players are already in the Hall of Fame, but they've taken this very seriously. So
Hey, Ray.
it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's the main thing is that it's fun and acknowledging these cards. I just want to just acknowledge some of the people that are in the chat right now. We have Mike O, Don's Field of Dreams, Collector Stream, Mike Petty, Reindeer Studios. Thanks for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoy this conversation about the Sports Card Hall of Fame Network with the two sports that are currently in there right now, the Baseball Card Hall of Fame and the Football Card Hall of Fame. But I also want to just give a shout out to why we're doing this. This is for a charity called Signature for Soldiers. And down below, you're going to see the email address for gonzalesnut@hotmail.com for goods and services. Donate what you can. This is a great cause. This is the second year in a row they're doing this for Signature for Soldiers. And I want to thank Mike and Ty and everyone from Bench Clear Media for doing this. It's a great idea and a great cause. So thank you very much for that. Don't forget to donate. It's always good to give. So without further ado, I'm going to go over real quick over the history of the 5 ballots. So I'm going to share the screen here and have hopefully John we'll see that come up in a second. And hopefully you guys can see this. Does the screen come up for you guys?
Yeah, looks good.
Cool. All right. So real quickly, I don't want to it's been 5 years of ballots so far. As everyone could see on the first inaugural class, we had the 1952 Topps Mantle, the T206 Wagner, the 89 Upper Deck Griffey, 54 Topps Aaron, Willie Mays rookie, 33 Gowdy Ruth, 68 Topps Nolan Ryan, 48 Leaf Jackie Robinson, 80 Topps Ricky Henderson, 51 Bowman Mantle. Real quick to the second year, we had the Roberto Clemente rookie, the Trout rookie, shocking, T206 Ty Cobb Redback, the Billy Ripken FF Error card, the 33 Galley Lou Gehrig, 84 Donner Ston Mattingly rookie, the SP Jeter rookie, the Bob Gibson Pepto-Bismol rookie, 48 Leaf Satchel Paige, the Canseco rookie. Moving on over, we had the Sandy Koufax rookie, the 75 Topps George Brett rookie, Mark McGuire's USA card, Pete Rose rookie, Thurman Munson 71 Topps, Cracker Jack, Joe Jackson. 54 tops, Ernie Banks. Frank Robinson, rookie. Ted Williams, rookie. Cal Ripken's Topps Trader, rookie. And the 53 tops, Satchel Paige. 2 classes left. 52 tops, Willie Mays. 90 score, Bo Jackson. 53 tops, Mickey Mantle. 69, Reggie Jackson, rookie. The 1915-16 M101 Babe Ruth. 53 tops, Jackie. The 53 Bowman color, Pee Wee Reese. 56 Mantle, Napoleon Lajoie Galaxy, and the Bowman rookie of Stam Musial. Last year's class was the 14 Cracker Jack Ty Cobb, the 34 Gowdy Lou Gehrig, 39 Playball Joe DiMaggio, the Carl Yastrzemski rookie, T205 Christy Mathewson, the 50 Bowman Jackie Robinson, 69 tops Johnny Bench, second year. And this was Vic's card pick, 73 tops Roberto Clemente, 54 Bowman Ted Williams, and the 52 tops Eddie Matthews. So now we would normally have 40 cards on the ballot, right? So 10 cards got in. I brought it down to 30. Then the bottom 5 cards that were in the bottom 5 voting got bumped off. So now that's 25 remaining cards are being moved over. And I'm going to see if I could see if I can show that. Well, the remaining 25 cards that are still on the ballot are being moved over to this year's ballot. So we're looking for 15 new cards. So if anybody out there has a suggestion for cards that are not on the Hall of Fame ballot or have not been inducted, you know, let us know. Send something. You can even say something right now in the chat. We're hoping to get some comments on the chat room for any card suggestions. I know George, you know, George, I'm sure, and John might have a suggestion of what cards they might want to see in there. But we're hoping to add 15 more cards to the ballot. If any of you guys have any suggestions, what you might have you thought of in the top of your head? I know I haven't really thought about it. I know next month is when the ballot starts, but Don Mossy, nah, I don't know if we're going to have the big ears on.
If the Billy Ripken got in, Juan Uribe is not too far of a stretch.
52 tops, Jackie was a suggestion. The Donruss Manningly is already in. This is where it's going to get fun now.
Yeah.
You get nominations much for more modern stuff, like 93 Finest Refractors, stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, we've gotten the 93 SP Jeter in there. We have the 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout. We have the 90 score Bo Jackson, the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. So, yeah, there's, you know, the Don Manningly rookies in there. So if people want to suggest the Finest Refractor card, you know, so be it. We're going to be taking all of these considerations, all of these suggestions into consideration for the vote ballot, which comes out again next month, July. We're not going to give out the date quite yet, but next month, July, we'll start the 6th annual ballot, and it will end sometime in early August. So that is right there, the baseball card Hall of Fame ballot, and 78 tops Reggie Jackson, 41 play ball Joe D.
That's a good one.
Of course, I'm going to be looking at this later on and writing all these down again. And Joe D and Teddy. Good cards. The 54 Johnston Cookies, Hank Aaron. I was thinking of that also with some food and beverage cards like Red Heart or Stallmeyer cards. You know, there's Oxford confectionery cards from the 20s. And, you know, Vic, do you have any ideas of what if you thought of anything since we last spoke of what's kind of maybe run through your mind? Anything more modern or anything?
Yeah, I have not yet. My heart really leans towards 80s more than vintage, and only because vintage is so heavily represented already in the Hall of Fame. But
right.
So I'm leaning more towards what cards from the 1980s, perhaps.
Well, I was just about Yeah, I was just about to say that. And from the 80s, we have the 80 tops Ricky Henderson rookie, the 82 tops traded Ripken, 84 Donruss Don Mattingly, 85 tops the USA Mark McGuire Olympic rookie card, 86 Donruss Canseco, 89 Fleer Billy Ripken era, and the 89 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. There's still a lot of 80s cards out there. I mean, from the
No
Boggs.
steroid love. No Clemens, no Bonds.
Right. There's Bonds rookies, and there's Wade Boggs and Tony Gwynn, and the 81 Fleer Craig Nettles error card. You know, there's quite a few of them out there. That 32 US Caramel Babe Ruth, another good suggestion. Yeah, the 80s is kind of underrepresented. 83 tops traded Darryl Strawberry, 84 Fleer. I was just about to suggest the 84 Fleer update Clemens. Barry Bonds as rookies, or you know, and I would even suggest even a Tiffany, you know, tops Tiffany. I know the Barry Bonds 86 tops traded Tiffany is a huge card in the hobby. So yeah, I would definitely agree with you, Vic, that the 80s, there's only 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards from the 80s.
Yeah,
the mostly is from the 1950s is very well represented. You know what? The 70s is not represented a lot. There's only 2 cards from the 70s.
Wow. Really?
I'm just right now. I'm shocked more than anything.
That's shocking.
The 70s is really, really underrepresented. You only have the 71 tops Thurman Munson and the 75 tops George Brett. There's no Mike Schmidt rookie.
Uh-oh.
You know, there's no Ozzie Smith rookie. Wow. Talk about underrepresentation here. The 70s is really underrepresented here.
That Danny Ainge, that card's a sleeper in my opinion.
You think so?
I think it's a good card.
So, that 70s card show said the 70s suck. So,
come on, John.
Thanks, John. Yeah. So, there's some good suggestions coming in.
That's a good suggestion there too. Yeah.
I like that All-Star Cup rookie.
Which one, Bart?
That Eddie Murray that somebody just put in the comments.
Yeah, the 78. Yeah.
What's that 70s card? I forget his name now. You got the real big fro.
Oscar Gamble.
Oh, the Oscar Gamble. That card is iconic, man.
That is iconic. That's in the 300 great baseball cards for Mike Payne. Yeah, there's some good ones in here. The 70 tops Nolan Ryan. Yeah. So, yeah, anybody, you know, the 71's got some rookies in there with Blyleven and Ted Simmons. So, you know, shoot us a message on the sport. Don't forget, you know, it's not just about each one of our channels. There is a Sports Card Hall of Fame Network YouTube channel. We're trying to guide everyone towards that channel.
Yep.
Go into that channel and look at it. There's all the history content of all the 5 previous Baseball Card Hall of Fames. The first annual Football Card Hall of Fame is all on the Sports Card Hall of Fame YouTube network. So that's where we're trying to guide everyone towards, to look at the history and make your comments in there and give us your suggestions, because this is for you. I mean, this is your vote. This is your voice, as Victor and Bart said earlier. We're getting all these suggestions from you, that we don't really want this to be like we're telling you these are the cards that are going to be in. You know, we feel like, you know, the first year maybe, but now as a lot of cards have gotten in to this Baseball Card Hall of Fame, there should be people's voices on there. And Don saying, I wish there was a YouTube channel that concentrates on 70s cards. Yeah, there really was. I really wish there was. I mean,
totally underrepresented. We got a that needs to get a shout
there
out.
You go. Let them all in. They're all
going to be on the ballot. You know, we only have 15 open slots, and so far there's been about 102 suggestions. But yeah, we're going to try our best to see, you know, if we take all your suggestions and for the baseball card. Yeah, Robin Yount rookie is another good suggestion. I was, you know, I originally I was shocked at the 80s, but the 70s is really snubbed. Definitely. I'm writing all these suggestions down for you, the people out there, to give us some suggestions. 71 Ryan is also another iconic card. And, don't forget the 60s, because a quick look on the 60s, there's, let's see, three cards in the 60s. Another shocker. There's the Pete Rose rookie, the Nolan Ryan rookie, and the Reggie Jackson rookie. So there's no, Willie McCovey or I'm trying to think.
Thanks for subscribing to the YouTube channel there, Ancient Redwoods.
Yeah. Oh, and there's 60 Yastrzemski is in there as well. But yeah, there's no, Catfish Hunter, Jim Palmer, or Tom Seaver or Rob Carews in there. So there's a lot of cards left, guys, that could be added to this. Floating heads. What were some of you guys' favorite cards from the 60s or 70s that we haven't been voted in yet that you might like to see get in on ballot, just off the top of your head? For me, I would like to see the Tom Seaver rookie get on the ballot, but
I'm biased. All rookie card Hall of Famers. So,
so that goes for anybody that hasn't been in yet.
We should that one.
All right. Well, we're going to change gears up a little bit here now, and I'm going to try and let's go on to the football card now. So I'm going to share the ballot.
Scotty couldn't make it tonight?
No.
To the comments, so he made a small appearance.
Okay.
Okay, so now this was our first annual Football Card Hall of Fame ballot, and there was 45 cards on the ballot. And Bart, I can remember, Bart, some of the cards that were inducted. I'm pretty sure the Sports King, Red Grange, Jim Thorpe was inducted.
Yep.
Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Bart, I think Unitas was inducted. Or
Yeah.
Star
was in. I think both of them got.
Okay.
Yep.
And Walter Payton, the 76 Topps Walter Payton rookie was put in. And I think Bronco Nagurski, National Chickle. So I'm hoping everybody could see this. I'll try and expand this a little bit bigger for everyone. There you go. So these were the cards that were on the first annual Football Card Hall of Fame ballot. Bart, you want to go over how you had a great first? You and Scott had a great first ballot this year, a big turnout. I mean, these cards are iconic, man. You want to talk about some of these cards that got inducted?
We just get to pick the legend, so it was pretty cool. We tried to go with 50 at first, and then it just seemed like to start getting watered down right at about 40 or so. So we stuck with that. Nice and competitive. You start to see some of them probably split votes with each other, like in 84 Elway and Marino. So they fought each other and didn't work out for either of them. But we did get some much needed early vintage in, and so the next follow-on years should be pretty interesting. Because obviously, for the baseball guys out there, they know that football hasn't had the lore that baseball has had over the years. So I don't think the vintage is as much of an anchor in football as it is in baseball. That can be argued whether it's good or bad, but I think with this voting, you'll definitely see some modern stuff start to show up a little bit faster than the years of baseball ones. And so that should make it interesting from a ballot standpoint and what the hobby has to say of who we let in for number 11 through 20 this coming year.
Right. And as far as like before 1933, people might think, is this the farthest back it goes? There are football cards before that, right? Like, isn't there? I forgot that gentleman's name.
Henry or Harry Beecher, one of the two. Yeah, there's some really old stuff, but they're pretty much college, Yale and Harvard football cards and things like that. And much the same as I said, they're just not well recognized because it wasn't as big of a sport. It wasn't America's pastime at the time. And then those people that were on those cards just did not become legends of the game. Not necessarily always their fault, but, football hadn't, professional football hadn't been fully organized and advertised and all of those. So we got a couple of people to show up in 33 Sport Kings there, but 35 National Chickle was our first nationally distributed football product. And so that's the big start. And just the same in baseball, we struggled until post-war era to really have a lot of volume there. But baseball definitely has us beat pre-war for sure by a long stretch.
Now, would some of the people that really don't get into football, is there certain positions that more collectors gear towards than other, like offensive linemen, not getting the love
So
at a quarterback?
On my channel a lot when I pick up a Hall of Fame rookie and it's a fat guy or something, like, fat guys do or whatever, because those linemen, they did it all, and it's really tough vintage wise, especially for those linemen. They played both sides of the Iron Man football and things, but most things were not official stats back then. So there's been a stalwart few that went through videos and tried to say how many people, how many sacks people had from Deacon Jones and earlier and things like that, but they just don't get a lot of popularity. Those offensive linemen, because we got lots of big time. There were some big names of centers and things like that back in the 50s, but it's just hard to translate their impact to the game modern way. We didn't have the same type of offenses, so you can't say, hey, that was the number one offense in the league and stuff like that. So where baseball, everybody pretty much, unless you're a pitcher, gets a chance to hit one over the fence and get an RBI and a run, stuff like that. Football doesn't have that equivalent. So you got to have the offensive numbers, the touchdowns and things, or you just had to have been killing people on the defensive side and, breaking their fingers and tackling them still when you had crooked, broken fingers and things like that, right? You really had to rise above. And so when we have legends from those old years, they really were the top of the game. And it's a long distance between them and probably the second or third guy.
Right. What would you say for the viewers out there that are listening and watching? They know who the iconic baseball cards are, like the T206 Wagner, the 52 Mantle. What are the T206 Wagner of football and the 52 Mantle? With Jim Brown, maybe? I mean, what are like the really, like top of the upper echelon for football?
I would say the T206 Wagner is the 35 Chickle Nagurski. When you talk 52 tops, I don't know exactly what the population is of that mantle, because I think that it's not the rarest of cards, and so I would probably Jim Brown is not a terrible analogy or something like that. I think the 33s are a little bit rarer to call them that, but you can spot a 52 Mantle from across the room. You can spot that Jim Brown from across the room, no problem.
Yeah.
That black isolated picture and everything like that. Everybody knows that one. So that's probably a pretty good analogy there.
And we're getting some suggestions already. I mean, someone suggested the Roman Gabriel rookie because he was on Brady Bunch. I mean, I didn't know. I think they're thinking of Joe Namath. Wasn't Joe Namath on the Brady Bunch? I don't think Roman Gabriel was on the Brady Bunch. But 1962 Post serial. Oh, he was on Gilligan's Island. Never mind. Sorry, John. 1962 Post serial. Fran Tarkenton. Are you familiar with that card, Bart?
We don't have the Mantles and the Hank Aarons and stuff really carried those. I don't want to say off-brand, but you know what I'm saying. The Post cereals, the cookies, and things like that. So we have a few of those in football. We have Post cereal. 62 starts it, so you got a Fran Tarkenton and a Mike Ditka in there, but they just don't carry the weight the same in football. We've got 59 bazookas, which are crazy rare, but so few of them are graded, and most of the time, however people cut them out, it looks like they just got chewed on and things, so you can't really find them beyond authentic. So they're very niche. They don't get collected quite the same, but there are some upper echelon people that hunt those things down. But the popularity is definitely not the same in football for those types.
Joe Namath's rookie is going through the roof, right? That's a big time card. The 65, right? 65.
Yep, 65 tops. Our first and only tall boys as far as that goes. And he was AFC then, so it was a little weird back and forth between the sports and who was running, whether he had Philadelphia or tops, depending on if you were AFC or NFC. And so, thankfully that he is in that set. Otherwise, we wouldn't even talk about 65 tops probably at all. There's a Fred Blitnikoff and now two, Veterans Committee Hall of Famers in that set now. But without that 65 Joe. But the green, uniform and then the yellow background is really bold. And so if you can get a nice centered one, and the color can just really pop. Have fun trying to display it in your normal cases and things like that. It brings some issues there, but it's an awesome card. And Broadway Joe, he was one of the first ones to really, you had your Bart Stars and Unitas. Everybody knows, he was the clean cut, high top, and Staubach was kind of the same cloth, the squeaky clean guys. Broadway Joe, a lot of different people connected with that one if they had a little bit more personality to themselves. That person and that card aligned up perfectly to create a lot of popularity for collecting football cards, for sure.
What now in the 60s did the AFL have Philadelphia cards and the NFL was tops, or the NFL had Philadelphia as well?
Early 60s, the NFL was tops and the AFL was Fleer for a couple of years. And flip-flopped, and AFL had tops, while 64 to 67, the NFL was in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Back up in 68.
I told you guys he was a football card Jedi.
I'm telling you, him and Scotty, their knowledge for football cards is
for sure
better than anybody on YouTube by far. So we're so happy, me, Vic, and Mike, that on the Sports Card Hall of Fame Network, we added, a football card sections, and to kind of take that into perspective now, and as a spinoff now, we would like to add a third sport, whether that's going to be basketball or hockey. We're not sure which sport yet. We can leave that up to you, the viewers, the people out there, of what sport you think you would like to see first. And of course, I'm always scouring for, committee members, whoever's interested and want to run the basketball card Hall of Fame or the hockey card Hall of Fame. I've been noticing hockey cards a lot lately on YouTube, more so than basketball cards, even though I know financially wise, value wise, basketball is going through the roof, especially with a lot of the modern players like LeBron and Curry. But yet I'm not seeing the video. I don't know if I'm not looking in the right places, but I'm seeing a lot of people showing hockey cards like TJ Maxx or Shoebox Legends. They're showing a lot of hockey cards. So I don't know if we're going to gear towards hockey first or basketball, but we'll leave that up to you, the viewers out there. And if anyone wants to help out, and running one of those sports, let one of us know. But we would like to add a third sport and then eventually a fourth sport. So
send your resume to Ray. Background check will be done, and
blood tests and samples of drugs, whatever.
And the pay and benefits
the benefits really aren't that good. Hockey does have more of a history. That's something that we're going to take into consideration. But soccer is definitely another one. Boxing is another one. You never know where this is going to go, and then in the next upcoming years. But Bart, we're going to have the second annual Football Card Hall of Fame coming up again this January, and it's going to end on Super Bowl weekend. And you guys I hope are thinking about new cards to add for the ballot. I know you got a lot of time left, before from now till then, but you're going to have to add, I think, 10 more new cards, right, to the Football Card Hall of Fame ballot.
That's the current plan. We'll see how it goes. We'll kind of both put a list together, and then when we mash it up, if there's a couple that we both think we got a good point on, we can adjust the rules and the size of the ballot as necessary. But that's just to add another 10.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And it could be modern. It could be if someone wants to throw in Favre or Aaron Rodgers, whatever,
as long as it's not Tom Brady, we'll allow it, right?
We'll think about it. Me and Bart are big Joe Montana fans, so but yeah, let's kind of head back now to baseball.
Hey, as a reminder, we're taking donations for Signatures for Soldiers. You
Yep.
send it to Gonzalez Nut. There's a story behind that. You might want to ask Moynihan about that email. It's but I also wanted to make mention. I mentioned it this morning, but I do have much respect, much love for Mike and how he handled Signature for Soldiers last year. He was very open, very transparent about the whole entire process. Explained it all, made videos on it, and even was able to see him hand a check over to the gentleman that runs Signatures for Soldiers. So it's all on the up and up, all with extreme accountability and transparency. And I really appreciate the gesture given by Bench Clear Media here for Signatures for
Absolutely.
Soldier.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I kind of know the story of the Gonzalez Nut email address. I've known Mike for 9 years. Some of you don't know, Mike was a huge Juan Gonzalez fan. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Gonzalez Nut. So there you have that story right there.
Get your mind out of the gutters.
He was a Juan Gonzalez huge fan.
He had a couple of poor picks of PCs before he found the Hall of Fame. He knew he couldn't mess up because he didn't
Poor
like
Juan. Juan
You got to put Don's comment up. You got to put. Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Don does not disappoint.
Yes, sir.
Don's a Pittsburgh fan. Yeah, there you go. Mike is in the chat now. He was because I remember seeing Mike's one of his first videos. He had this address sign in his room, Juan Gonzalez Way or Drive or something like that, and yeah, that's how I figured that. I've known Mike a long time, so I know. So back to the baseball card now. I mean, like I said, if anyone's interested in wanting to, collaborate on a basketball card Hall of Fame or a hockey card Hall of Fame, feel free to let us know because we are very much interested in expanding it. And don't forget to check out the Sports Card Hall of Fame Network because all the history is there of all the previous ballots. I'm sharing the ballot with you now. I hope John's paying attention. There you go. Thanks, John. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. That is John.
The
so,
wizard.
John, what's that, Vic?
The wizard.
The wizard, yes. So we have a lot of, so far there's been 51 cards, like we said earlier at the beginning of the show, that have been inducted into this virtual baseball card Hall of Fame. We're taking suggestions. This year's 6th annual ballot will be starting in July. Me, Vic, and Mike will be coming out with an introduction announcement video very soon. So stay tuned for that as to what date it's going to be starting, what date it's going to be ending. Last year we had a lot of support from other channels like John Newman from Sports Card Nation and Dr. James Beckett, and we're hoping to expand a little bit more and get the word out there a little bit more so people can have fun with this and take this to wherever it takes us to. Because I think people have fun with this and really have an opinion and a voice on cards. There's cards out there that people told me they didn't even know about existed. So that's one good thing I'd like to see that this has really helped is educating people on certain cards, especially pre-war cards that people don't know about. So if there's cards out there that people want to 1990, Dufex, that was on the ballot last year, the 1990 Upper Deck Reggie Jackson autograph card, and it didn't quite make it. I think that was Mike, this Baseball Card Life suggestion. That was one of his picks. And I don't think it even got the 5% vote that it needed to stay on. Shocker. But that doesn't mean that some of these cards that got bumped off can't come back on. We could, if we get a big enough suggestion from people and vote on that, we can always add these cards back on. Ziggy's in the chat room. Thanks, Ziggy, for coming in, and Love Truth and Signs of the Past Time. Yeah, I agree. The 90 Reggie Jackson autograph card is a great card. It's in the 300 Great Baseball Card set by Mike Payne. It's a card that I'm surprised didn't at least get to remain on the ballot. But who knows, talk us into it. We'll be glad to, if there's enough push out there, think about, adding that card back onto the ballot again this year and giving it a second try to at least stay on the ballot for another year. We try and keep it a flow each year to keep it fresh so that we don't have the same cards on there. Are NFTs available for consideration?
No.
I'd
Something
love to
else.
see a vaping sloth in there. Well, we'll think about it, John.
But you bring up a point there, Ray. That's kind of one of the cool things about the vote is it puts voters to challenge themselves is what they really are going after, right? Like some folks will only vote for things that are attainable. That Reggie, and some of those other cards that, they do catch your eye, but if it's not got a population or anything like that you can really chase down, some of those really, really high-end vintage ones or whatever, some folks are all into that because they're holy grails, and some are, anti that. And so that's kind of the neat part. And we like to see what the results are and see what the hobby is really thinking about types of things. But that's the challenge in the vote.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's about everyone has their own definition of a Hall of Fame card. Is it based on value? Is it based on rarity? Is it based on pop report? Is it based on, how rare the card is? We have a question from Asian Redwoods. How do you get the vote? Good question. When we do the announcement video, which stay tuned for that, there'll be a link down below on that introduction video that will take you to a page that's really, really a great page. That kudos to Mike This Baseball Card Life that creates this page, that you'll see all the pictures of the cards. You click on the picture of the card that you want, and the vote's in. It should take you no more than 2 minutes. So again, when you want to vote, look for our introduction video coming up in the next, I'd say, week or two, and you'll see how you'll be able to vote. So it was really easy. Like I said, you're going to see a bunch of pictures of the cards. So if you're not familiar with the card, you'll at least get to see what it looks like, and then you just click on it and vote. So I agree with you, Bart, too, on attainability. A lot of people won't vote for a card that is from the early 1900s if they feel like they have no shot at getting it. If they feel like there's a card from the 80s or 90s that they can get, they could vote for it. And deservedly so. I mean, those cards, just because they're not as old doesn't mean they don't belong in the Hall of Fame, because everyone has their own definition of what's a Hall of Fame card. A card could be, like I said, could be an iconic based on the value, the rarity, pop report, whatever. So that's why we have your voice on here, and we ask for your opinion. TCMA. And take it. The first TCMA card to get in, that's going to be hard to figure out, but that's a good question. Actually, that's a really good question, John. Vic, didn't we put a limit on certain players like Mantle and Mays or something? I think we did. Where we
we did. I think only 5 cards can be represented of any one player. Also, I wanted to take a moment to let everybody know the seriousness on the committee when we're adding cards to the ballot. It's a process that we typically have a meeting between the 3 of us, and we will sit there and look at our list of recommendations, and we carefully consider each card. We do have a slight criteria that we try to follow, and it's basically, is it a popular card? Meaning, did this card leave its mark on the hobby? Is one of the criterias. Another criteria is the card iconic? Meaning, does the card have artistic? Is the artistic design of the card iconic? You see what I'm saying? So it's did the card leave its mark on the hobby, and does the card have an artistic design element to it that makes it stand out above the rest? And that's really the criteria we like to follow to give you a rich ballot that's legit.
And Don just asked a question: does the player have to be in the Hall of Fame already? No,
No.
no, because Thurman Munson's 71. Thurman Munson's not in the Hall of Fame. Bo Jackson's not in the Hall of Fame. You're right. So it's not about the player. Okay, like there's an 89 Fleer Billy Ripken error card in there. That's an iconic card. Okay, that card's a very popular card. It's a rare card. There's different variations of it: white dot, black dot, and the words visible. So it's not the player. And I'm going to repeat this: the player, when you're voting, the player does not have to be in the Hall of Fame. So Jose Canseco's not in the Hall of Fame. There's tons of players that are not in the Hall of Fame. It could be an error card. It could be based on the value of the card, on the rarity, many reasons, like I said before, as to why a card is inducted into the Hall of Fame. So good question. I wanted to make sure we got that out there, that when you're making a suggestion that you want to see a card added to the ballot, don't think, well, this player's not in the Hall of Fame, I can't add this card. No, if you want to, like Victor mentioned, the 75 Topps Oscar Gamble card. Hey, in all seriousness, that card's in the top 300 cards by Mike Payne, and that Oscar Gamble is not going to smell the Hall of Fame anywhere near his future. But that's a card that's, in some people's eyes, is very popular and iconic. And I use the word iconic in many for definition of many reasons. Doesn't necessarily mean it's rare. It's just it's held, like Victor said, it's held its popularity, and it's meant something back to the people in the community. So if anyone else has any other suggestions, we're definitely taking them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vic.
No, I was going to say, as we're wrapping up our time here, also I want everybody to know the seriousness of the committee is that we've decided collectively that we do not get to vote. That this is strictly and purely the voice of the hobby. So you guys get to choose. We don't want to be like making recommendations or make it appear like we're trying to manipulate a vote to go a certain way. That's how come we've removed ourselves entirely of the voting process.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's a good point. We're not voting at all. We're trying to make this for for you out there, for you, the people, the YouTubers, you, the viewers, for her watching this who want to participate. That's why we're asking you tonight. Bob Uecker, sure. I mean, it could be a card that you have some sort of connection with, or you feel is a valuable card or a rare card or an iconic card. So, and like I said, it doesn't have to be a Hall of Fame player. So the same goes for Bart in the Hall of Fame. Bart and Scott are taking suggestions for any cards that you want to see added to the ballot. There's 10 open slots for that for next year. And we're coming up on our last 2 minutes. So don't forget signatures for soldiers. A great cause. Email, gonzalesnut@hotmail.com for your donations. This has been a lot of fun. We really enjoy this, and we do take the Hall of Fame, the Baseball Card Hall of Fame. We do. Lou Rock, 73 Reggie Jackson.
Got to be the ugliest card.
The 73 Reggie Jackson is blurry. I thought I would need a cataract surgery when I saw that card. I swear to God. But yeah, anybody, please, we want your suggestions to come into us because we want this to be about you. So we're not, and no one's coming back to saying, why are you picking these cards? These are you, the viewers, that are making these suggestions.
You guys got to be half lit, I think.
It's Saturday night and everyone's having a good time. So we're glad 75 people watching us talk about the Hall of Fame and baseball cards and football cards. But
hey,
again, coming up next is another Philly YouTuber, Mike O. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And give us suggestions for the Baseball Card Hall of Fame. Give us suggestions for the Football Card Hall of Fame. If anyone's interested in out there and wanting to run the Basketball Card Hall of Fame and for running possibly a Hockey Card Hall of Fame, please let any one of us know. We'll talk to you about it and take it from there. I want to thank Ty and Mike from Bench Clear Media for having us on. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I know we did. This hour goes really, really quick, man. And we have a lot of fun. This is the 6th annual. Look out for the video for that. That's going to be coming out soon with me, Vic, and Mike. Look out for coming January for Scott and Bart for the Football Card Hall of Fame. And, you know, we'll take it from there. I'm not sure if we're out of time now. Is John still with us? I don't know if John's
I'm right here.
cool.
So,
Thank you, John.
Have you thought of any
Yeah,
cards
guys.
that you want to add to the Baseball Card Hall of Fame that you have? You can chime in on it.
I wasn't even thinking about it. So I'll be thinking about it later. I
Let
did
us
vote
know.
last year. So
Definitely let us know.
Buenos
Yeah.
nachos, muchachos.
But thank you everyone for tuning in. Micah's coming up next. Football Card Hall of Fame, Baseball Card of Fame. Check out the Sports Card Hall of Fame Network. Thank you very much, guys. And don't forget to donate to Signature for Soldiers. Thanks again. See you next year.
Good stuff, Ray.
and I clicked